Paige, now in your second season, do things change in terms of how you view yourself as a leader on this team from freshman to sophomore year?
I was just told like never to look at my age on the field, so I feel like being a leader was kind of how it was last year, and it's gonna still stay the same this year. But as a sophomore, I feel like I have a little bit more of a voice and a little bit more role as a leader. So definitely, I think this year you'll see a lot more vocal and me as a leader stepping up.
How much more prepared are you this year compared to a year ago? Where yes, you were a great high school player and clearly ready for college, but to go up against premier competition in an opening weekend, like how different is it a year later?
Yeah, I mean it's way different. Like knowing now what Pac brought me and what things brought me through season, I definitely know how to prepare for it more. Like I didn't even really watch film growing up in high school, so like that aspect of it is different, and I think that I learned a lot more how to look at film and what I need to do as a hitter. So I think I feel more prepared going into the weekends because of that reason, and also just how much hard work I put in the off season and during this season. I feel like it's a different kind of work that you put in, and so I feel like that technique and skills I put in that way have prepared me for this upcoming weekend.
When you do break down film, like what's your process in terms of when you're first looking at it? What's the things you're looking at? Are you looking at like the dartfish charts and just pitch placement? Are you looking at your own mechanics? Like what's the first stuff, like process wise?
Yeah, I think most of us look mostly at like the speed, spin, and kind of location, what kind of pitches they are. I also like to see like what the pitcher is trying to do, like if she's a strikeout pitcher, if she's just trying to make us kind of roll over. Like it's good to know like what she's trying to do to get us out. So like knowing that helps me understand what my kind of plan is, and then I go from there making my plan A and plan B. But yeah, mostly just I look at what the pitcher is trying to be successful at, so then I can figure out how I'm going to be successful off of her.
What type of preparation did you do over the off season? What did you focus on to get yourself prepared for this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think I took another step into my hitting. I definitely was more aware of my body and how my body moves when I'm hitting. So over the off season, Coach Martyr hooked me up with this guy in Las Vegas where I'm from, and his name's Joey, and he works with the farm system, and he really was able to teach me how my body moves a little bit better and different postures and different breaks in my swing that I didn't really think about before. So it was really helpful, and I learned how to like put different swings on different pitches versus just having the same swing repetitively. So I think it was really helpful, and it like really changed my perspective on hitting, and I think that you'll see that this year.
One thing that you've always done is your energy. I mean, you're all over the place. I remember even in the fall ball where you ended up almost like taking out the backstop, going for that one pop-up. But having new people around you now, there's going to be a new third baseman after Rachel's gone. Is that something that you just play and that's the way you play, or do people around you need to develop some cohesion and?
Yeah. I mean, I'm always going to go balls to the wall. Like, I'll go through a wall for anybody on my team. So that's always going to be there. But definitely with, like, new people, it's good to build that relationship. Like, me and Taya on the third base side, like, I love getting to know my players because you get to know their strengths. Like, oh, maybe she has a really good, like, step to the left where she can get balls that maybe I can't in that 5-6 hole. So I can cheat a little bit more up middle. So having that cohesion, and it really helps at the end of the day. But, yeah, I think it's important to get to know my players, and like Bunk and I like are so, like getting to know each other more and more as middles together, and I think it's obviously been super helpful.
So that communication is basically get out of your way.
Yeah, I got just blah blah blah. I got it. Yeah.
Knowing kind of the hard work that you guys put in the off season, what are you most looking forward to? Finally being able to play against another opponent at the start of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing each other so much over the fall, and so it's like I'm just ready to see different competition and like what we all can bring. Like it's literally like all of us, 24 of us against everybody, and I feel like it's a full lineup. Like you're never gonna see, like everybody's there, and we're all ready to compete, and I think that's what we're super excited about because we're ready to show like what we've been working on mentally and physically, and I mean we're really pouring into each other this year, and I think that's what I'm most excited for, to see those connections on this field that you maybe didn't see last year.
What has Elise brought to the staff?
Yeah, she's definitely a different look compared to everybody else. She is definitely very focused, and you know that, like I can tell like she wants what she wants, and I think she's like a really go-getter. So I think that's going to be something that's really good, that she hits her spots and she controls the mound and puts a good pace on the mound. So I think that's a little different than some of our other pitchers, but I think she'll be a pretty good key to our pitching staff this year.
This was asked earlier, but if you could characterize an identity for this team, what would you say it is?
I think like a lot of us want to play before each other, for the people before us, beside us, and behind us. I think that was something we kind of talked about in our meetings, and it's really just pouring into each other and kind of stepping out of our comfort zone this year versus just kind of being comfortable where we're at. I feel like when things got hard, it was like maybe we'd shut down a little bit earlier last year. So I think this year you're going to see like a different fight. Like when things get hard, like what do we go to? What do we go to? And that is our why. And so I think us playing for our why is what you're going to see this year in our identity.